As has been mentioned earlier by Busrat, this is happening every year, but today's event is special because it's happening on the occasion of the 20th independence anniversary of Eritrea. The overall theme for this year's independence anniversary is Eritrea 20 years of dignity. In defiance of this ruling and the international treaty signed in Algiers, Ethiopia still continues to occupy sovereign Eritrean territories, including Badme. This is a total violation of the international treaty, the final and binding ruling, and international law. Ethiopia has defied this ruling with the support of the United States. And the United States has been behind all this complication that we have seen in the implementation of the international ruling, up to the point of trying to even twist the arm of the International Boundary Commission to revisit some of the decisions made. And in fact, as all of us are familiar now with WikiLeaks cables and documents, many of these WikiLeaks cables have shown that the US has tried to create complications in the implementation of the ruling and even tried to influence many or some European countries to do so, that this resolution is illegal and unjust. Our position still holds the same. But on the other hand, it's a fundamental issue that still the accusers, after 18 months, have not been able to provide any unambiguous evidence of Eritrea's support, military support to Al-Shabaab. The resilience of the Eritrean economy has been testified under all conditions. The border war came, it didn't break. We survived the war, and we completely failed the war imposed on Eritrea. And the Eritrean economy didn't shatter. All of a sudden, I'm sure we have followed all these reports of Find Facts, the financial institution in Ireland, World Bank data, IMF's statements, and including the Economic Intelligence Unit, who have been saying, forbid for God's sake, that Eritrea will be surpassing in its growth rate even Qatar in the next 2-3 years, reaching a target of 17%. We are not very good at all this engineering of data and statistics, but I'll tell you later why it creates some sort of allergy to hear such type of things. Definitely, Eritrea has achieved growth in the last 10 years, and in particular in the last 3-4 years. We know how much we have grown. It could be above that, it could be below that. That's not the issue. But there are reasons why I call this another myth in relation to the myth that was created by all these organizations like the International Crisis Group and many others as well, to show the public, the international public, that Eritrea is having a failed economy. Whatever is the situation, we haven't backed from our policy of no food aid in Eritrea, because a nation that cannot feed its people cannot survive. And that's why we say food security is a priority of priorities and is an integral part of the national security agenda in Eritrea. There are certain international companies who are already in Eritrea training and introducing these new technologies of mining. And a lot of new technicians, a young generation from the various universities, are under training Because what's happening in Eritrea now is we have already 22 companies in Eritrea in the mining sector. 2 are from the UK. And already one has started production of gold. And it's going to start the production of copper, zinc, and silver by the end of the year. There are 2 others in the pipeline which will be starting, one by the end of the year and the other probably mid-2013, and others will follow. So mining will be an important sector of the economy very soon. And we will need a great deal of national capacity on top of the expertise capacity that we are trying to bring from overseas. And we have laid a foundation for this national capacity, which is a pride to see in a very short time. But there are myths against this reality developing in Eritrea. As has been said so many times, undercut, resources can be a curse sometimes. But we are not prepared to take it that way. So we have tried to create a viable foundation for an effective management of the national resources by establishing a national mining corporation in Eritrea. There is a lot going always to tarnish the image of Eritrea, and the blackmail campaign is of unimaginable proportion. But one of the most important things, despite all the challenges that we have, and we will have for that matter, is to improve the quality of the life of our people. And in fact, the social sector has been one of the most important dimensions of our national development goals in the last 10 years. One of the important areas that took much of our attention has been, however, to see how equal and balanced, equitable development could be guaranteed in the country. By considering rural areas as a priority, marginalized groups, sectors, and